I do not believe what I just saw out of the Dallas Cowboys. That was pathetic. There is no other way to put that performance. That was pathetic. Let's try to make sense of it and break it down on this episode of Cowboys Digest. Welcome in, fans, to Cowboys Digest. Another dejected post-game out of me after riding in on a high from last week. A great win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here we are. An embarrassing loss at home for the fourth time in a row now. The fourth game in a row where the Cowboys have been embarrassed at home. And this one might have been the worst of them all. 47-9 for the Detroit Lions. We knew it was going to be a high-scoring affair, but it ended up just being one-way traffic. And the Lions got their get-back from last year, where they lost at AT&T Stadium. Welcome in, everybody, to Cowboys Digest. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis. We're going to try to make sense of what I saw there, because just it didn't make sense. I'll wait for a few more people to trickle in here. Horrible, embarrassing joke. That's right, Mike. That's right. There's no other way to put it. Horrible, embarrassing. Let me just pop up some tweets. I'll pop up mine that I had here. Now, the Lions have an amazing offensive unit. I never really show my own tweets or anything like that, but I tweeted this in the middle of the game, and I said, the Lions have an amazing offensive unit, and the Steelers don't. I get that. But how does your effort level drop so much after a big win on the road? Pathetic, embarrassing, call it whatever you want to call it. The Dallas Cowboys are a joke. Lonnie is asking, will there be another head coach fired mid-season? I don't know if the Cowboys have ever done that. Not in recent memory, but I'll pop this up for you guys. There is no legitimate reason for Mike McCarthy to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys after today. He is a failure. Now, I don't know if you can pin this loss entirely on Mike McCarthy. I saw a lot of players making business decisions out there and just deciding to not give a full effort when they knew that the game was over. And I get that. You're getting paid millions of dollars. You want to stay healthy. But when you get embarrassed like that on your home field for the fourth time in a row, I want to see a little bit of dog in you. I want to see a little bit of fight, and there was no fight today from the jump by the Dallas Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb looked engaged early on. Their first couple of drives were nice. One interception in the end zone by Dak Prescott. The game is over. The game is over right then and there. So I don't understand. Just a reminder, if any of you in here are not subscribed already, go ahead, hit that sub button. We're close to my goal of 2,000 subscribers, but I don't know if any of you guys want to subscribe for Cowboys news after a game like that we just witnessed. But let's take a look at some more screenshots here. And the one thing I wanted to point out was how disrespectful the Detroit Lions were being out there, and there was nothing that the Cowboys were doing about it. I'm not going to say anything about the Lions. I'm not mad at them for being disrespectful. I'm mad that the Cowboys had nothing to say about it or did nothing about it. This is RG3's tweet here. The Detroit Lions out there doing tricks on it in front of the Dallas Cowboys home crowd. They in their house with their dirty feet on the couch and telling them what to cook for them. That's pretty much the vibe that I got as well. RG3. I mean, they were trying so hard to get one of their linemen to score a touchdown. It's like it was a joke. They were playing a Pop Warner football team out there, and they were just trying to get everybody engaged, trying to get everybody a touch. They threw a lateral to Penei Sewell. They threw a lateral to him. If that's not disrespectful, if that doesn't tick you off, if that doesn't want you or make you want to show a better effort, I don't know what will. The Cowboys were getting embarrassed out there. They got punched in the mouth, and they just allowed it to happen. So that, to me, totally pathetic. Totally pathetic, and I just don't understand. I don't understand the effort level here by the Dallas Cowboys, and guess we'll try to make some light of the situation. Just saw this at AT&T Stadium earlier today. Fan forced to stay and watch the Dallas Cowboys versus Detroit Lions. So I guess it's not the first time that this has happened. The Dallas Cowboys have been embarrassed 4 times now in a row on their home field, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. We have poor defense and 0 running backs. Why not stay with Rico from the jump? I agree with you, Mike. Why not try to get Rico involved early? He had the best game of his career against a much better rushing defense in Pittsburgh. And right from the jump, you're trying to throw the ball. You're trying to throw the ball, and you're trying to be cute. You know that Detroit is going to move the football, and they're going to get whatever they want pretty much offensively. So how do you match that? Long drives, try to pick up first downs, and nothing. They're just not able to sustain drives. And then when they get in the red zone, Dak is throwing interceptions or he's turning the ball over. It's just all around terrible. We know that they're shorthanded. We know that they were probably going to be in tough today with a lot of players out of the lineup. But at the same time, there was no fight, and a lot of players just quit. They quit. And that, to me, is unacceptable. Jerry Jones needs to make some changes here. I don't know what those changes are. I don't know if it's getting rid of the coach. I don't know if Mike McCarthy has lost the locker room. I'm not privy to that information. I don't have an inside scoop in the locker room either, so I can't tell you whether or not Mike McCarthy has lost the locker room. But what I do know is that they're not playing up to their potential, and losing 47-9 at home is unacceptable. It doesn't matter how good or bad your team is. It doesn't matter how injured or how healthy you are. If you lose by 38 points at home, there is a problem. There is a deep underlying issue that you need to fix. And they quit. Yeah, Mike, they quit. I don't care as much about the loss as I do the compete level. Trevon Diggs was getting burnt all game long. All game long he was getting burnt, and you could tell that he was getting frustrated. He wasn't running hard. He wasn't making an effort to try to make up for his mistakes that put them in a hole. A lot of the guys on the defense that are looked at to be leaders, are captains, are veteran guys in the league, they were nowhere to be found today. And instead of being calming presences, instead of trying to right the ship, they just quit. And that has a trickle down effect. If you see one of your leaders like Trevon Diggs quit, you're going to quit as well. What incentive do I have to keep going if one of our highest paid players is just going to pack it in, is not going to try to tackle, is not going to try to chase his man after he gets beat on an in route? Like, what are we doing here? What are the Cowboys doing? It's pathetic. And the fact that the Lions were just able to try to get one of their linemen a touchdown or feed their linemen or do whatever, I mean, that just doesn't sit right with me. And that is an effort thing. That's not the Lions being a-holes. That is the Cowboys quitting. And the Cowboys not having any sort of dignity left inside of their bodies. The Lions did that because they could. They wanted their get back from last year where they didn't get the 2-point conversion and they didn't win the game on the road. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to come into AT&T Stadium and embarrass the Dallas Cowboys, and that's exactly what happened. And what did Dallas do? They just rolled over and they allowed it to happen. It's terrible. It's terrible. Shout out to the 28 people in here right now. Guys, make sure to hit that sub button. I'm really fired up right now. I don't want to beg for subscribers, but I've been working hard at this, and I would love to see all your guys' support. It would mean the world to me. So if you can go ahead and do that, it'd be real cool. But yeah, guys, it's just not good. It's just not good. It's becoming so repetitive. I think Bland will make a difference. Not the way that they played today. If Deron Bland is in the lineup today, okay, maybe they lose 35-9. You still put up 9 points. You were still pathetic on the offensive end. You were still pathetic trying to stop the run. You were not executing tackles. I mean, yeah, it's the same old story. I work harder than the Cowboys. Well, that's not good, is it? That's not good. That's not a recipe for success. I guess that hard work warrants a subscriber then. if you aren't already. I'm pretty sure you are, Lonnie, but for the rest of you out there, the other 29 people in here, look, man, I love this team. I've loved this team from the day I was born, and I haven't missed a Cowboys game in 16 years. So the fact that this is where we are at right now, it's disheartening, because at least last year they showed some fight in the regular season, that is. They showed some fight, and they were one of the best teams in the league before they ultimately got stomped on by the Green Bay Packers. I don't want to revisit that. That was a dark time to be a Cowboy fan right there, but this year they're less talented and they have less work ethic. That to me doesn't make sense. You got worse in the offseason from a talent standpoint. You lost Tony Pollard, who is still an elite running back. I wouldn't say elite, but a very good running back. Better than what you have on the roster right now. So you lose TP. You lose him to Tennessee, and Rico Dowdle is your number one running back. What do? You go and get Zeke Elliott, who has no speed left, who has nothing left in those legs. And I still don't know why he is getting carries over Dalvin Cook. I don't know how good Dalvin Cook is going to be, but I guarantee you that he's going to be better than whatever Zeke is providing in the limited carries that he's getting. So, I understand that, all right? So you got worse from a talent standpoint. But what you cannot get worse at is your compete level and your work ethic. If you make that conscious decision to shave salary and to not pay some guys, and to bet on the guys that are there internally already, you need to bank on them putting in an effort and bank on them being positive impacts on the game. Like, it's just disheartening. And Lonnie's saying diehard since September 5th, 1983 Monday Night Football, Cowboys at Robert F. Kennedy Stadium. That's cool, man. That's cool. I've been a diehard since 2004, since I was 4 years old. God, it's heartbreaking. Every season for the last 4 years have had the talent. Worst mistake was bringing Elliott back. I don't know if that was the worst mistake, but they've made a lot of mistakes from the management side of things. There are a lot of flaws in this organization, and it starts with Jerry Jones at the top. It's got a trickle-down effect to Mike McCarthy. Mike Zimmer has been terrible as well. He's had some good moments, had some terrible moments, but it's been mostly terrible because the Cowboys' defense has been nowhere to be found. And then you got that trickle-down effect to the players. You have your leaders, and I'll put leaders in quotation marks there. Trevon Diggs, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence getting into fights on the sideline. They're arguing with each other. You have CeeDee Lamb, who looks engaged for about 5 minutes at the start of a football game. Then things start to not go your way, and he's also nowhere to be found after getting paid. So that, to me, signifies a culture problem. There is a deep lying culture problem within the Dallas Cowboys right now, and that, to me, is a big problem. And I'll pull this up again for those of you that didn't see it. This fan was sentenced to watching the Dallas Cowboys against Detroit Lions. Poor guy. Poor guy. Just take him away. Take him away. Put him out of his misery, man. And Mike McCarthy. I'm going to ask you guys here. Should Mike McCarthy be fired? And I will start a poll. You all can vote on that. And I will put that up right now. There you go, guys. So go ahead, vote on that. And let me know. Let me know if you guys think that Mike McCarthy should be fired. I do. I think he should. Right now we got 3 votes saying yes. 4 votes saying yes. Yes, please. Yes, twice. Please, please. Trade for Etienne and Cooper tomorrow. I was high on Zimmer. I don't think that anymore. I don't know. I don't know if this is a Zimmer problem. I don't know if it's a personnel problem. But it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And it's disheartening because they're not even close in these ball games. So let's look at the last 3 home games, or the 3 home games that they've played this season. The first one against the Saints got totally walloped, 274 yards on the ground for the New Orleans Saints. They haven't won a game since. 274 yards on the ground. That is pathetic. Let's look at the next game. Again, 200 plus yards for the Baltimore Ravens. You lose 28-25. It's a valiant comeback effort, but you were down 28-6 in that ball game. You were nowhere near involved in that contest until the end, until the Baltimore Ravens stopped playing and gave you a chance to get back into it. And now we fast forward to this one today. It's the worst of them all. You lose 47-9. I mean, what are we doing here? Guys, what are we doing here? How do you lose that badly on your home turf? How do you lose 4 games in a row on your home turf when you're expected to be a playoff team? It just doesn't make sense to me. High school freshman team at best. That's what they're playing like right now. I guarantee you a freshman team have a little bit more heart though, Mike. Because they haven't gotten their money yet. So they're not sellout divas like the Dallas Cowboys are. There it is. I said it. This team is a bunch of sellouts. A bunch of guys that don't care. They don't care about the logo. They don't care about the fans. They care about that paycheck. And I'm talking about that paycheck because I saw a lot of business decisions being made today, specifically by Trevon Diggs. Yeah, Overshown is all we have on defense who plays like they care. I agree. And you saw the camera pan to the sideline, and Overshown was the only one that looked pissed off. Overshown was the only one that had a disgruntled, disgusted look on his face. Everyone else, they're laughing it up. They're ready to hop on the plane. They're ready to do whatever, go out. We're Dallas Cowboys. Let's go spend our money at the club or do whatever. No. Overshown has heart, man. Overshown has heart, which is not something that I could say about the rest of this football team. This Cowboys team doesn't get up to play the stop team to save their lives. Fire McCarthy too because his play calling stinks. I'm in the boat to fire McCarthy, and it seems like a lot of you are as well. Got 8 votes saying fire Mike McCarthy. Middle school 7th grade backup team at best. Yeah, you're not far off, Jason. You're not far off. So when I watch the Cowboys play, 1 week they have that effort, they have that dog in them. And guys, this is something that I tweeted out. I wanted to pop it up one more time for you. The Lions have an amazing offensive unit, and the Steelers don't. I get that. But how does your effort level drop so much after a big win on the road? Pathetic, embarrassing, call it whatever you want to call it. The Dallas Cowboys are a joke. Now, guys, go check out my Twitter if you haven't already. Peter Vryonis. I tweet a lot about the Cowboys, about baseball. I mean, I'm a big sports fan. I'm a sports junkie, and I love this team. I love this team more than a lot of things on this planet. But they're making it really hard for me right now to stick by them. And I'll take us winning only 3 games this season if Jerry will start cleaning house. I don't know if that's going to happen, Lonnie. I don't. And the Cowboys are not bad enough to tank, and they're not good enough to win a Super Bowl. They're definitely not good enough to win a Super Bowl. I think that has been established. But I don't know if they're bad enough to get a top 5 draft pick. Because there are a lot of teams that are really bad in the National Football League. And like I was mentioning earlier, sometimes you get that Dallas Cowboys performance where they look fantastic. Where the defense shows heart and grit and determination. And then you get performances like today, where Detroit was running the ball down your throat. Where Jameson Williams was making your secondary look like they're a bunch of 12-year-olds playing freshman or JV football. Like there are levels to this, and you don't see these levels of inconsistency with the top tier teams in the league. So someone is saying no. Oh, I put, okay, first of all, I messed up on the poll here. I said yes and now. So, no, the other option is no. So not now. Although I'd like for him to be fired right now. I think that would make for some really interesting content, and it'd give us something to talk about here. But no, it's yes or no, not yes or no. Even though I think he should definitely be fired. If I could put those two as options, I would, and I could put those two as options, but I won't. I won't do that. So yeah, I just don't think they're bad enough, Lonnie, to get themselves a top 5 pick and to really make that much of a difference in terms of superstar talent. Like, I don't know if they're there. I really don't. I'd like for that to happen because this roster isn't good enough, but I don't know. Jerry needs to send a message regardless of draft pick. This is unacceptable. I can't even watch ESPN for the entire week. F. Stephen A. Smith. He's going to enjoy this. And he should. He should, Lonnie. The Cowboys have given nobody a reason to respect them. And I know that I was fired up the other day about Dan Orlovsky, and I think Dan Orlovsky's an idiot. Don't get me wrong. And he should not be critiquing the play of anybody because he was a hot garbage quarterback in the NFL. So let's leave that aside. I called out Dan Orlovsky for him being critical of the Dallas Cowboys, saying that he wasn't impressed with a road win in Pittsburgh. I don't care how you win it. If you win on the road in Pittsburgh, it's pretty impressive. So whatever, he can get lost, is what I'm trying to say. But Stephen A., his whole thing is messing with the Dallas Cowboys, and they have every opportunity to just prove him wrong. Why would he change up now? Why would he give the Dallas Cowboys any credit? They haven't done anything for 30 years. More than my lifetime. They haven't done anything for almost 3 decades now. So why should Stephen A. change his tune? Why should he act differently towards the Dallas Cowboys if they're just going to keep laying eggs like this at home and get embarrassed by good football teams? They haven't played any good football teams besides the Ravens and the Lions. And I guess you could throw the Steelers in there. And they're 3-3. It's just not good enough. The effort level is not there. And it sucks. It sucks that we have to watch this product on the field every week. And it sucks that Jerry Jones is going to do nothing about it because we consume it. We buy the jerseys. We buy the hats. We buy the tickets. Why should he change anything if he owns the most valuable franchise in sports in the world? Why should anything change? And I know it's disheartening to hear that, but it's not going to change. Overpaid QB is my opinion. Can't get any talent around him, and it's his fault. That's the market, man. Roger, that's the market for a quarterback like that. And it sucks, but who else were you going to start this season? And now you're stuck with him. Now you're stuck with Dak for at least the next 4 years. So I don't know. And they still have cap space. There is over $20 million worth of cap space for this season. So they know what their holes are. They're glaring holes, and they're pretty much up and down the roster. They know what they need to address, and they have the cap space to do it, but Jerry is not doing anything. So that to me is an issue. That to me is a warning sign, and him saying that I don't think this team is good enough. So you could blame Dak all you want, but that is what the market consists of. That's what it costs to keep a Pro Bowl level quarterback on your roster. And I did not think that quarterback was their biggest need heading into this season. The defensive line is atrocious. It's even worse now that DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons are out of the lineup. Eric Kendricks was out today too. That was a big loss. Their defense is garbage. Hot garbage. And that is their biggest need right now. So, I understand what we're saying about Dak, and he hasn't looked good this season, but I still think he's an elite quarterback, and I think there are positions. I think there are positions on the roster that need to be addressed, and that Jerry thinks are totally well and fine, which I disagree with. I'm hurt. Jerry is sabotaging Dak. That's crazy. What stinks is Jerry will defend this loss and will defend the team. I mean, he's gonna say it's unacceptable. We can't keep doing this. It's unacceptable. Dak has got to be better. Mike McCarthy has got to be better. He's gonna say all of that. But what's gonna change? Nothing. Nothing is gonna change. He said, I am the one that put this football team together, and they need to play better. That's what he's gonna say. And what is gonna change heading into the bye week? Absolutely nothing. Overshown for every position at this point. Guy is a dog, man. The guy's a dog, and I love that about him. I really do. I'm glad he's a Dallas Cowboy. I'll put it that way. Liked what I've seen out of DeMarvion Overshown. Guys, what do you think needs to change heading into the bye week here? They're going to have a lot of time to think this over and make some changes that need to be made. Jerry doesn't lose money, so he doesn't care. That's right. That's right, Lonnie. And it sucks. It sucks, but when he's declaring $10 billion at the end of every year, I mean, there's not much incentive there to change anything that he's doing. Plus Sam Williams and Deron Bland also. Yeah, there's a ton of injuries. But I'm not making excuses for this. So Roger Ford is not a Dak guy. And that's okay. I mean, I respect your opinion, Roger. I really do. I really understand what you're saying. Maybe elite could be a stretch, and maybe you're right on that. But at the same time, I don't know what the immediate solution is. I don't. So I understand what you're saying, Roger. I really do. And I disagree. I still think Dak is good. And I still think there are bigger issues that need to be addressed in the draft. But who would be the immediate solution for you right now for this season? Is it Cooper Rush? Who need a new, not Jerry Jones? Well, I don't think that's going to happen. Ron, I really don't think that's going to happen. It sucks. But he's a good owner. I think he's a very good owner. But he's a terrible GM. And he's a terrible president of football operations. And his problem is that he wants to be hands-on. And he wants to be the one making the decisions. So I think that's where he gets himself in trouble. I think he's a great owner. He spends money. He cares so much about this team. But at the same time, he should not be making the roster decisions. He should not be the one that is calling the plays from his owner's suite. That should not be happening. And I guarantee you that it does. He's got his fingerprints all over his roster. He wants it that way, and it's not going to change. I don't know if it'll ever change. It's not Dak. It's the play calling and the lack of effort, and the run game is pathetic. Dak is not the problem, but hasn't been the solution either. That I agree with, Jason. I agree with that. This year is over with, and I've been a fan for 50 years. I'm sorry, at least I saw them win in my lifetime. At least you did, Roger. I haven't, and I don't know if I ever will. I'm 24 years old. I've never seen them win anything of substance. I've never even seen them make a championship game, an NFC championship game. So I'm glad that you've witnessed them win Super Bowls, and I'm sorry that they haven't gotten back there. You deserve it. We all deserve it. Joanne saying the quarterback threw too many costly interceptions. Last week as well. I mean, the game should have been over with if we didn't have those 2 turnovers in the red zone. I don't know what's going to happen against the San Francisco 49ers. I could probably lean on the fact that they're going to get killed. I really do. Thank God for the bye, right, Dwayne? Thank God for the bye. Because I don't know if they can recover from this in 5 days or whatever. Deuce Vaughn? You're talking about Deuce Vaughn, Jason? He's a terrible GM for paying Dak, and this is a fact. I know y'all see what I see from Dak. He's just not the answer. Should have tanked this year because it's tanked anyways. Bro, they had 3 interceptions, tons of fumbles, lots of turnovers. Hit the like button. Thank you, Lonnie. Appreciate it. Yeah, guys, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Most of you in here are probably subscribed anyways, but I would really appreciate it. Yeah, Deuce Vaughn. I don't know if Deuce Vaughn should get any playing time. I think Rico Dowdle is good. I think Rico Dowdle is very good. They just need to give him the ball. I don't want to see Deuce Vaughn getting carries. I don't think that's the answer. What I do want to see, though, is Rico Dowdle getting his touches. We saw how well it worked last week in Pittsburgh. That is the answer. Give Deuce Vaughn the ball. Not Deuce Vaughn. Give Rico Dowdle the ball. Let him cook out of the backfield. And I understand that you were down big in this game, but from the offset, you were not trying to. You were not trying anything. They quit. Yeah, they quit. They absolutely quit. No dog in this team whatsoever. How many punts? I don't think they punted today. I don't think the Lions punted today. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to end the poll here. Is the line lacking or what? We don't have the same lineup we had for years. We should have capitalized then. QB don't give up 40 points again. Didn't give up 40 points again. Yeah. But the QB also didn't score a touchdown and threw a pick in the end zone. So it was bad all around. And I'm not going to place blame on like one individual person here. It was a team effort, and the team just sucked. That's it. Thanks for all your support, Lonnie. Appreciate it. Joanne saying there'll be a wild card team. I don't know how you could say that after this sort of performance, but I like your optimism. I hope that they can get a look at some playoff football. But we all know what happens when they get there as well. Secondary, even with all the interception records, has always gave up big plays at worst times. Yeah. It's always been a bend but don't break defense. But now they're just a bend and break defense. It's bad. They got a lot worse over the offseason, and it sucks. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for all the support. I'm sorry that the Cowboys suck so damn much, but it is what it is. We got to move on. And enjoy the bye week. Enjoy the no stress next Sunday.